Hey, what's up guys? Anderson here, bringing you a battle replay commentary on Floodplain. My opponent is Wacko Jacko, and this is a map I highly enjoy, and I like trying to devise different strategies and whatnot every time I play it. So for this battle I brought 3 ninjas, and one thing I've noticed is kind of effective with ninjas. I didn't really display this too well in this battle, but if you stagger them so when they get discovered, they usually rush forward and try to hit that first ninja, but if you have more ninjas staggered behind, the initial attack, then, that makes a pretty good trap. But anyways, so for this battle, you can see I've got 3 ninjas up front, and I've staggered them. I have these 2 up here, and I have this one back here to go ahead and start capturing this dojo. As well, if you look at my army composition, I did not bring any bows. I have 1, very well veteran matchlock warrior monk. I have 2 Yari Ashigaru, I have a Naginata warrior monk, and 5 katana samurai. As well, I have 2 great guard, and what else? Oh, mounted gunners. Well, that's 3 Naginata, or Yari Ashigaru, not 2. So here you can see I actually control click these ninjas, just put them over here to start capturing this sword dojo, I believe? Yeah. And the reason I held the mounted gunner over here was because a lot of times players like to bring a single Yari Ashigaru unit over here to capture this dojo. So my plan was to, use that mounted gunner to prevent that from happening in case that's what he tried to do. And, another thing, I see a lot of people not doing, if you have bows, fire arrows, and your opponent's about to capture a dojo, why not just set it on fire and burn the thing down so they can't use it? I mean, it's better just to deny your opponent the dojo instead of just letting him sit there and have it. But oh well. So anyways, once again, I do not have any bows to this map, so if he does take any dojos, it's not like I can do that. Looking at my opponent's build right at the start of the fight, all he has visible are his general unit and 2 bow warrior monks and the Daikyu samurai, as well as a Naginata warrior monk. The rest of his units are hidden, so I'm suspecting, he probably has heavy gunners. I outnumber him quite a bit, and this is medium unit size for some reason, but I notice I have a pretty big numbers advantage on him, and none of these bows are 200 range, so I figured he probably had some heavy gunners, so I didn't want to rush my ninjas out there too fast, and I kind of wasted them. As well, you can see he's got his great guard running around in a wedge formation. So when I do try to pursue cav action, I see him just standing there. He's not actually trying to maneuver his great guard to attack mine. He's just sitting there in the wedge, and I know he's going to try to exploit. But I went ahead and set these ninjas up to start hitting his bows, which, they really do not do a ton of damage. And there goes his heavy gunners, start firing out shots. So 1 volley and they pretty much, routed my ninjas. But, that's fine. I've got more back here. Since I actually moved up to my army to capture the dojo, I went ahead and sent another ninja unit over here. Now unfortunately, it's not going to do a lot of damage. Usually I'm not used to seeing heavy skirmishing builds. I usually see like heavy melee builds, and the ninjas really didn't do what I wanted them to, and that was just hold up a melee build. But here he's going to actually charge his Grey Guard into my Katana Samurai, because he knows I have him on the infantry component, so his only chance is to really grind down my katanas. But because he charged in at a weird angle in this wedge formation, he didn't really do a lot of damage on that charge. But I couldn't get my spears over there in time to counteract. But I did go ahead and I went and moved my bow, or my matchlock warrior monks over here to start shooting up his bows, which I would have shot his heavy gunners if I could have seen them, but they went back into hiding. So disaster averted there. Great Guard ran away, doesn't want to fight, and I end up bringing my Great Guard out to counteract it. Still have my heavy gunners hidden back here as well. I haven't brought them out and showed them up to the fight yet. Alright, so I moved this Yari Ashigaru up here to meat shield for a bit, catch some arrows and some of his matchlock fire, and he starts moving these heavy gunners up. So all I do is I switch my fire on my matchlock warrior monks to his heavy gunners, And because he's not focused on my matchlocks, you know, it doesn't take much for me to quickly shoot these guys up. So, you know, still I've yet to have one battle where heavy gunners have managed to beat me. And unfortunately they did switch targets because these guys went into hiding and I lost target acquisition on them. So that's fine, I just switched targets back to the heavy gunners, and you can see my matchlocks are just going to tear them down pretty quick. They aren't a huge threat. So I start maneuvering my Grey Guard over here, and he's just sitting there with his Grey Guard and the diamond formation, which pretty much tells me that he wants to exploit the charge bonus. So I don't want any of that. And he starts charging his Grey Guard in for my matchlocks. So I start running my matchlocks back a little last second, but unfortunately they don't get raped too bad. So now he's just trying to, you know, with his bows, target my exposed infantry units. So I just went ahead and started sending my spears up here to attack this Grey Guard unit. I'm not too worried. You know, most of my infantry units have this tree cover, and his bows are not going to be able to do a ton of damage. But he is responding to my cav engagement over here and starting to bring some spears over here to support. And at this point I decided to go ahead and bring up my mounted gunners. So it was kind of foolish for him to charge his Grey Guard in there and then just leave them. You know, my matchlocks had already pretty much dealt with his heavy gunners. They don't really have a significant number left. So now I'm just waiting. I'm maneuvering around. Because I saw what he was doing over here, just holding his cav and not trying to attack, I went ahead and put mine in diamond formation as well. I'm not going to let somebody just exploit a charge against me. But it's at this point I decided, you know what, he doesn't really have any infantry component besides these Naginata monks, and they're pretty much distracted by my cav. So I'm going to split up my cav and I'm going to go ahead and start rushing my infantry up. I didn't want to rush up my general too much just yet, simply because of the fact he could target them with these heavy gunners, but I do separate my cav and I bring this unit down here to hit these heavy gunners. And as you can see, I still have 30 out of 60 matchlocks left, so you know, that's a pretty significant amount. And I have my other cav unit back here. Now, for some reason, he decided to bring his avatar bodyguard out here and position them directly in front of my matchlock, my mounted gunners. So just a real quick target shift onto those guys. You can see my mounted gunners are just going to take these guys down pretty fast. And now I'm just maneuvering my Naginata warrior monks up to get the war cry off and take care of these marathon monks, these Naginata Sams. The general is donezo, and my infantry is cleaning up. So, you know, his heavy gunners did a significant amount of damage to my troops, as well as his bows. The units that I, had exposed, but that's fine. You know, this is really a map for heavy melee skirmish, or not really skirmishing, but heavy melee builds. More of a matchlock skirmishing. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time.